All right. Hello and welcome everybody for what is a record-breaking episode for us today. Record-breaking attendance. Thank you everyone for joining us. This is a pretty big deal for us and we're really excited about it. As you would know, if you've been following along, we do a lot of updates. We try to be very responsive and very reactive to all of our contractors, what you're asking for and what you're looking for. So this is another one of those episodes and we're going to get into that here in a little bit. We've got a little bit of housekeeping to do off the top. As you can see, we have Travis, our CEO and president, and we have Team R here, which is Matthew McDaniel, our product owner, and kind of the wizard behind a lot of these updates, what gets selected to go onto an update out of everything that we are kind of piling at him all the time. So we're very fortunate to have both of them on today to give a lot of powerful insight into what we're going to be talking about. A couple of housekeeping items. We have a few more episodes to round out the end of the year. We're going to do a year in review and kind of go over some of the changes that we've gone through, some of the updates that we've made, some of the requests that we've gotten, and some of the events that we've been at. We're going to bring in just a couple more really powerful and impactful sessions of kind of useful material and educational stuff, whether it's financing or marketing. Got a couple of those, and we're jumping right into next year with even more of that. We're going to continue to keep bringing you guys valuable information, the type of stuff you're asking for, whatever. So recommendations are always welcome. Before we dive too much farther, jump into the chat, say where you're coming from, where you're viewing from, or where you're going to spend the holiday. And then before we get to the actual meat of it, and I let Matthew just kind of go wild. Travis, we've done a lot of shows this year, just like we do every year. We've been to a lot of places and we got into a lot of things. What has been your biggest takeaway from the year in events? What has been your most exciting event? Kind of what's been the biggest deal for you this year?
Yeah, it's been a lot. We've been to a lot. I think 56 events total, 56 that we've attended and we've been at. And I think we've seen a lot of people probably in this webinar that are watching us now, probably seen you at a show. Hopefully you've all been able to get our special edition Send It shirts. If not, we just came out with a whole new style to them. So make sure at the upcoming events, be there, get your F and Send It shirts. But this year has just been wild. It's been great for us. We've had so many great releases, so much great technology. We've had so many, new, more subscribers that have came on this amazing journey with us, along the way. So it's hard to think back to the beginning of the year to think about all the great stuff because there's been so many things. But the one that's obviously the most, fresh in our mind was RoofCon. It holds very near and dear to our heart because that's really where we launched. And that's kind of the annual event that we go to, and it's really special to us. And we typically go somewhat all out on that, as you guys were probably a part of our un-VIP event that we host there, every single year, which was a smashing success there once again this year. So we're coming off of that one, but we also have some that are still coming up. We still have a few, for the year. Obviously, Best of Success, we'll be at that one. That's a great one, and most of roofing process. And of course, they're right down here in my hometown of Florida. So they're not far away. I don't have to travel. I don't have to get on a plane for the 57th time, to go travel. I think Mike's probably in the 60s or 70s to the events that he's been to. So I think he's even got me beat on the number of events that he's been to. But man, this year has been absolutely fantastic. And I hope everyone's going to have a great, holiday here coming up. Thanks for attending us today. We got a really special one for you. This release has been 2 years in the making. We have waited 2 years to release this feature. So this thing is it's hard to say what's going to top this the rest of the year because we've been waiting on this one for so long. So super excited about this one.
Awesome. Me too. And this has been one, like Travis said, we've been asked about this. We've been teasing it. We've been trying to figure out a time to fit it in. And there's just we have everything on our plate. You guys are always asking for new stuff, and we're always doing our best to deliver new stuff. I see a handful of questions dropping into the Q&A. We will be addressing those towards the end. So throughout, if anything pops up, if anything's on your mind, throw those in, and we will kind of touch base on those towards the end. And then also, Travis, I'm still a little bit salty. I was apparently too un-VIP to even go to RoofCon. So we're going to fix that for next year. I'm putting my name in the hat formally for all of the viewers to see. If I'm not there, you guys need to complain to Travis. Now, without any further ado, Matthew, I know you've been sitting there silently and waiting for your moment to shine. What is ROOFLE 4.0? What do our proposals look like? Take us on a ride, please.
Yeah, what's up, everyone? So good to see such a full house here. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Got a special, juicy new feature for you. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Let's see here. All right, and as you know how we do, we are full senders. So I am demoing in our developer environment, which basically means shit could go wrong, but it's not going to, because tested it before. But so excited to show you guys the new 4.0 with proposals. And what this ultimately means is that you can sell a roof entirely virtual through our platform. So let's go ahead and walk through what that's going to look like. Let's see. So I'm going to pull up an example page. Got a nice example page here. And oops, looks like I've already been playing around with here. Let's start a new quick quote as if I'm the homeowner. Throw in an address. It's like I pulled up quite a few roofs here. I'm going to go ahead and take out a couple roofs that I don't need. And I'm going to rename this roof my detached garage. All this is just normal stuff here for the homeowner. And I'm going to put my info in because I definitely am interested. And send it at roofle.com. Very nice. Quick bridge because I've been spamming this all day. All right, so we're all familiar with that part. Nice, easy for the homeowner to get their instant estimate. We got some great products here. Now I'm going to go ahead and look at more details. I'm interested in this Atlas Stormmaster Shake. And you see here, I have a nice button that says Get Final Proposal. So at this point, I'm going to request a proposal, and that becomes the most qualified lead that you can get. So essentially, they've seen a price, and they've actually requested a final proposal. So you're going to get a notification for your new lead and for that request. Another thing that I have set up that's really cool is automated measurement orders. So if a homeowner actually clicks Get Final Proposal, you can automatically order a quick measure or an Eagle View detailed report. You just go to your brand settings, automations, and you're going to turn this on and then choose what your report you want to order. And then you can even choose a backup. And by doing that, when they click Get Final Proposal, it's going to automatically send that out. So you're not wasting any time, and you can get that report back ASAP. So you can validate your measurements, add your additional cost, and make sure you have a solid sound proposal to send out. So here's my new lead. You can see I've already got my Eagle View here. I can see that they were interested in the Stormmaster Shake. At this point, I would probably give the homeowner a call immediately while they're still online, ideally, and introduce myself, thank them for going through the process, and let them know I'm working on the proposal. And then basically just kind of do a pre-selling call, touch base with them. And then I have my report here. I'm going to go ahead and download this, and then I'll pop it open into a new tab so I have it available. And go. And then now I'm going to open the quote so I can make sure to finalize the quote before I create my proposal, because the homeowner has kind of limitations here, and they're not always going to make everything perfect. Now this actually lines up, as you know. Sometimes the shapes don't line up, but the actual footprint is very accurate. And I'm just going to adjust the slope here. Now you don't actually have to do this once your detailed measurement comes in, because what I can simply do is hit total square feet. And instead of trying to draw it or figure it out, I can actually just use my Eagle View report. So I'm going to switch to that, and same with waste. So by switching over the report, now it's using that report suggested waste as well for each structure. So I have a very complex main roof and a detached garage at 9%. And now I can add my additional cost. And what I can do is I can actually look at my Eagle View report, look at the imagery. I can see that there's no chimneys, no skylights. I can see that there is a ton of facets. So that's why it's so high on the waste factor, and so forth and so forth. There's quite a lot of vents here, but pretty small. So I'm going to go back in, and it is a 3-story. It's a single layer. There's no chimney, skylight. It is an asphalt. And I'm going to actually just add 5 sheets of decking. It's accessible. And here's a custom additional cost question. You can actually add like an annual service or, you know, unique needs if you want to add like just a kind of a miscellaneous cost. And then same with the second building. I'm just going to whip through this. Normally it populates, again, this is a dev environment. So let's see here, just 2 sheets of decking. And voila. And then let's go ahead and throw a discount while I'm in here. Let's just say we're going to give them 10% off the total just for doing it online and save you the trip and save some money for the homeowner. You can give them a nice drop when you re-engage. So there you go. Now I have a finalized quote. Very easy. I'm going to go ahead and save that. So now at this point, before, what you could do is you could just email that product. You go to see my details and you can actually email that quote. It's going to include all this additional costs and what's included in that package. It's going to look nice. But we're going to take it one step further now and actually create a proposal. So you guys are getting the very first look at the new proposal tool. We designed it to be turnkey. So a lot of proposal tools are very difficult and tedious to set up. This essentially is ready to go as soon as it's released, with one exception, that is to add your company's contract terms. So every company obviously has different terms of their agreement, and you guys will just upload those. You can upload as many contract terms, I think up to 50 different contract terms. So if you have one for insurance, you know, one for retail, one for different locations, and so forth, you can keep all those as an admin. You can upload those proposals. I'll show you after this. So here we go. The first step is to select your product and color. So they wanted the Stormmaster Shake here. I'm going to go ahead and select that for the main roof. And for the detached garage, let's say they want to just save a little money. So we're actually going to just go with a normal shingle. We'll just do the duration instead of the impact. So we're going to go ahead and hit next. You can also click at the top here. Okay, so now I have my proposal layout. It starts with a cover, which we've given you 2 design options. Pretty traditional and something that could be a little bit more visual. What's really nice is you can actually customize this information as well. So if you wanted to put in a different title and so forth, and you can upload a beautiful picture. Let's go ahead and grab one here. I created one with our nice little online service pro badge, just to give them a little bit more feel good feeling that we are pros online and technology is reliable. So you can see here, I have a new contract terms telling me that I have missing field. It's because I haven't actually selected my terms. So I'm going to go ahead and select my terms for that market location. And there you go. It's just going to upload those. All right. You don't have to do anything because we already finalized the quote ahead of time. So this is literally just showing you what that's going to look like, including the total cost. Again, also authorization. None of this stuff you actually need to do now. Really, the only thing I need to do is to modify the cover and select my terms. And this proposal is ready to go. Now I can add my measurements is automatically added. If for some reason I didn't want to include those, I can actually hide those as well. And same with any of these sections. I can also add my own custom PDF, which gives you a ton of flexibility to add whatever it is that you want. You can add, for instance, I'm just going to add a brochure here for that Stormmaster Shake product, just so they get a nice little bit of more education on the product that's going on their home. And there you go, got it uploaded here. I'm gonna put that at the end. And we're gonna go ahead and move forward with this. Nice review. You can kind of see I'll slow it down here because I've seen this a bunch of times. You guys have not. So we've got our cover, we've got our final quote, which it is a per structure quote. So we've got the first structure, the warranty, the features, what the base package is, all of our additional costs itemized, and then a subtotal for that, as well as our second building, the detached garage. We got a different product and different package, so forth, different warranty, and we got our discount as well as our actual final total here. We've got our terms. There's just an example. And then our authorization page, which you guys will see, and our measurement and so forth. The brochure is down below. I'm going to go ahead and hit create.
Do we have room for multiple signatures, Matthew?
This is a version 1 of our proposal tool. We are definitely accepting all of your guys' feedback, and we are going to prioritize new feature updates. We just really wanted to get this in front of you as quickly as we can, get some iteration, get some usage, and then get some feedback on what's the most valuable improvements we can make to really make this work for you. So that's definitely one that we will be doing, but right now it is just a single signature. So what you'll probably need to do is just include that in your terms. There is no cross signature just yet, again, but this should still, it is a legally binding electronic agreement, and it is powered by Bold Sign. So they go through all the work to actually make it legitimate, make sure that it's legally sound, make sure that do the opt-in, and all it's secure and so forth. So I've created my proposal. I can choose when it expires. There's 2 types. We have our standard. So if you don't want to e-sign, if you just want a PDF of the proposal, let's say you're in person, you want to print it out, you want however you want to do it, you can still do that and customize the email that's sent. I'm going to go ahead and choose e-sign, and got everything here. I'm going to change my comment here a little bit, and I'm going to go ahead and save that as my default comment for next time. And so I got a little preview of the email, and I'm going to hit send. And so of course, dev environment, don't have that clicked, but what I have is an example. So just to recap, I went online as a homeowner. I got my initial instant quote. I have this email turned on, which basically shows me my instant quote recommended products. Then I requested a specific product, Stormmaster Shake. And then lastly, I got a proposal from my rep. If you open to sign that, it's going to open it up. This might look a little different because I had to preload this for the signature process. So this is what the homeowner will experience. Nice and clean, very, very familiar UI for anything they've signed online. They have one consent to terms to continue, and they're just going to hit either start signing. Very simple. They can either type, draw, or upload their signature. I'm going to do this nice, pretty one here. And my full name. Date's already timestamped for you. And finish. And there you go. They're going to get a confirmation on that. So now when I go back into my dashboard, it's going to actually, so I do have a new proposals tab. So there's a few places you can see your proposals. One is actually in your lead record. It's going to be under proposals. It has the information here. You can actually copy it, download, and resend it. So there is a nice link that you could share. So if you wanted to text it to them, however you want to share that, you can expire it if you'd like. This is tracked. So once you send that proposal, And once they open it, it's going to be marked as viewed. That way, you know they've actually seen it. That way you can follow up at the appropriate time. And then once it's signed, it will automatically show as signed. And then it'll be stored in here. And then, of course, you have a centralized location for all of your proposals, which you can open, or you can open their lead record. And then just to show you that admin part, to upload your terms, very simple, just an upload file. So that in a nutshell is selling a roof 100% online and in minutes, essentially. We got through that pretty quickly. Let me know if you want to recap. I haven't looked at the chat or any reactions this whole time, so hopefully good stuff.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and drop my screen for a second.
We have a ton of questions to address, and we will absolutely get to all of those. Travis.
Let me emphasize, wow, right? Wow, it's pretty awesome. We did this for a long time. I think the biggest thing to remember is that, yes, there's a lot of proposal companies that are out there. Yes, CRMs have proposals as well. But I think the biggest thing that we are an unlimited use, unlimited user type of company. So again, a lot of companies charge for users. They charge for signable proposals. So, you know, you could use this, you can sign this, you have as many users as you want to, fully unlimited. So that's something that we are releasing with this. So get in, start using it, you know, and if you're not currently a subscriber, come on in, because we have a pretty big promo that we're doing about our proposals from now until the end of the year, to allow people to come in who are not current customers to come in and start using the proposals, and obviously customers that are, start using them, because, you know, it's unlimited users and unlimited usage.
So I should let you guys know when this is actually releasing. You want to let them know that, Travis?
Please. Yeah.
Because this is the pre-launch, so currently it's not available, but it is coming early December. The tentative date is the second week of December, I think around the 10th. We don't like to throw in a hard date, just, you know, it could be one day before or after. So but just expected that early second week of December.
Yeah, so I think it was right around the December 10th is the date as far as the actual release. We do have ability for people that want to be able to see these, we can show them to you. We have access to be able to show them to you, but as far as being available in your actual dashboard to start using them, will be right around December 10th is when they'll actually be live.
Perfect. Okay. All right. So as we're starting to address some of these Q&A, because we do have a lot of them to get through. But more significantly, Travis or Matthew, kind of where does this need come from? Because we have said over and over again that we are not a CRM and that we are not trying to enter that space, but some things do pull us more in that direction or push us more in that direction, depending on what we're asked to develop and add into the tool. But kind of where was the motivation to bring this tool in specifically and make sure that we got it before the end of the year? Because we have been pushing this before the end of the year for a while.
So for those of you, from my point of view, is that who don't know, we were B2C for a long time. This company, ROOFLE, sold direct to consumers for a few years. And so when we were doing the e-commerce path, because we were doing this 100% full e-commerce, 100% online, and allowing the consumers to kind of be in control and streamline this process. And so over, you know, the period of the last year or so is that contractors are really starting to adopt more of this virtual sales and kind of more of this e-commerce stuff. And so they're using a lot of different tools that they're already using or other technology that they're using to be able to facilitate a lot of this stuff. So it was just part of really the natural flow of continuing to release and to continue to automate, continue to take this further and further every single release to get this as close as we possibly can, or as much as we possibly can, into the hands of the consumer, being the homeowners, of being more in control and also streamlining a lot of these processes as fast as we possibly can. And so by bringing in these proposals, and again, it's the first iteration, we got 2 or 3 other iterations planned for next year to have updates to these, to where they're only going to get better and better. But again, it's kind of that natural progression towards changing this industry, changing this environment, you know, that we're in, as far as allowing, you know, more transparency and allowing for it to be streamlined and a lot faster as far as on all sides.
Awesome. Yeah. And I like the point that you made towards right at the end of the demo of the fact that this is unlimited users, unlimited use cases. We're not charging anything extra for this. So it's one of those things of if you're getting your proposals from somewhere else, that's perfectly fine. We're not necessarily trying to steal that away from you, from that business, but you do have this unlimited. So even if it's a matter of setting up your initial proposal to approve the financing, since you can run the financing through the same thing, go ahead and sign the proposal so that we can take that first deposit so that we can get you on the schedule and get your materials ordered. There's a lot of ways to kind of build this into what you're already doing rather than kind of reinvent the wheel around a new way to do stuff. That's kind of where we shine, is bolting on to whatever your existing processes are. So we try to kind of integrate and incorporate with whatever you're already doing. So unless we have any more general points, let's dive into this Q&A, since we do have a lot of them. You guys ready?
Ready.
All right. So from Jason G, homeowners being able to resize the roof measurements from the mobile version. Matthew, do we have any efforts in place, or do we have any kind of plan to adjust that? I know it has been a little bit of a thorn that we deal with. It's a tiny little map on a screen. Makes it a little bit tricky. What you got, Matthew?
Yeah, definitely. We've thought very, very hard about our mobile experience for homeowners and for reps. And we do have it in our backlog to limit the editing experience. Unfortunately, obviously, there's a lot of priorities to build out a lot of different features. It is pretty high up there. I can't tell you a time frame when that will, but knowing that it's your biggest complaint, I mean, that really makes a huge difference, because it's not just your feedback, but it's your client's feedback. And those are the kind of features that we want to build quickly, so there's no friction in the process. So yeah, we'll limit that editing experience sometime on the roadmap. And then also we're thinking about trying to revamp the editing experience for reps as well, especially on mobile or tablet.
Awesome. I'm sure that will be a big deal to a lot of folks. So from Nick C, if I want to build my estimates on another program, can I still get signatures on it through RoofQuote Pro? We might need a little bit more background to that question, but looking like, are you able to kind of slot in all of your information into the proposal that we are sending out? Can you give us a little bit of information there, Matthew?
Yeah, so it sounds like the solution that would be to upload your own estimate. What you can do, I think, as a workaround, this is just top of my head, since you can upload a custom PDF, you would export your estimate from this outside system into your proposal, and then you would just hide all the other sections that you didn't want to show. So essentially, you'd have a custom PDF that you built with your tool. You'd have the authorization page. I'm trying to think if there's any issues with that. I think you would just have to make sure the pricing matches. So you can just edit the total. You can just edit the cost pretty easily and make sure that lines up. But yeah, there's no reason you can't do that.
I think with the functionality, Matthew, of them being able to upload PDFs, they can upload like PDFs into certain spots, that they could take that and be able to upload it into there and still use the signable portion of it. So I think there's definitely a way to answer his question.
Awesome. We had another very similar question from Jason G. I think we've already covered that as far as the mobile experience. And then from Alex, does this work, or does it have an option for commercial flat roofs? If not, will it have such an option in the future? Before we go any deeper into that, yes, absolutely. This works for commercial flat roofing just the same as it works with any sort of residential pitched or flat roofing. Do you guys want to dig any deeper into that one? The capability's already there. There's nothing that needs to come in the future on that one, Nick.
Yeah, they would just need to have a product card in there to be able to select from, and then they would be able to use it for TPO, EPDM, PVC, whatever they want to use for a flat roofing product.
Perfect. Yeah, just bear in mind, folks, that if you have a set location, say Houston, Texas, and you have products listed for Houston, Texas, some of those being flat roof products, some of those being shingle products, they are all going to show up every time. So you will see, even if it's a Walmart supercenter that you're going to re-roof, your product list is going to stay the same. So if you want to be able to instantly quote flat roof products and commercial products, list them on there, and just know, disregard the first couple of them. And if you send a quote to anybody, if you send that information to anybody, remove the products that do not apply to that. Likewise, with a homeowner or on a residential roof, remove any of the flat products. And then from Trenton, we have same thing, TPO roofs, or if it's only for steep slope, got that one covered. Will we ever have the solar option available? That's a little bit of a big question, Trenton. And if you want to give us a little bit more information and background on that, there are some folks who are using this to determine, you have the square footage, you have the size of the roof, how much solar can you fit onto that roof, and building a quote based off of that. Travis, Matthew, do you guys have any other insight into that? And again, Trenton, feel free to give us a little bit more background to that question.
Tight-lipped on that one. I don't know how much you're willing to share on that one, Matthew.
Thanks.
I've been sharing too much sometimes. So
yeah, so there's a couple directions we want to go. One is with upgrades. We want to be able to kind of create these global upgrade options that you can add to your quote instead of have as a separate product. Again, this is stuff coming in 2025, no timeline, but it's stuff we've been planning. So in that case, you'd be able to add like a solar upgrade option on top of the quote. But in order to get that information, you do have to have that data. And that's where it gets a little tricky. That's not to say it's not something that we don't have. It's just the amount of, to pull it off, it's quite a bit of work. So we want to make sure that it's something that's high in demand from our clients. And if there's a simpler solution like the upgrades that can cover that, we're going to do it. So I don't know if that answers the question, but right now you can actually add upgrades, custom upgrades through your additional cost settings. So, and you can customize the quantity type. So if you want to do like per array or per, whatever it is, you can actually customize that. And then all you need to do is just know what the quantity is. So that's available right now.
I wanted to address kind of Trenton's question, and it fits right into Sarah C's question in the section for upgrades. Can we add more options to it? So for both of those, yes, you can do all of that under your general settings in your quote settings, rather than just kind of set you loose on going to mess with that stuff. If you feel like it, you can certainly go to win.roofle.com. You can book some time with anybody on the success team, myself, Courtney, anybody else on our team, and we can dig into that with you and kind of go over best practices and help you get all of that set up. But absolutely. So any of those, like add a cost for chimney flashing, add a cost for flashing a skylight, you can add as many of those. I've seen customers who have 60 to 70 questions on there that they can build out if they need to. They might not hit them every single time, but they do have them available if the customer is asking those questions or want some of those updates. So those can certainly be incorporated. So let's see. Trenton, update request. Allow contractors to change font and marketing abilities in the project details and warranty information. Give the ability to highlight monthly payment, create more power and impact visually to help close. I'm assuming that you're meaning kind of like putting different fonts in to really highlight or kind of bold certain features to kind of diminish the total $25,000 or $36,000 and put in bold the monthly cost. That can certainly be something that we could probably get to down the road. Firstly, though, Trenton, before I turn this one to Matthew, I do want to say if you use Contractor Loan Pro, your finance options are in an entire banner across the entire bottom half of the product card before they open up those details, showing the lowest APR and the lowest monthly cost that customer could get approved for. So it is pretty big and bold with an application button. So if you haven't taken a look at Contractor Loan Pro, I would strongly encourage you to do so. But Matthew, anything else you want to add to that?
Yeah, it's I love people that focus on UI because we're obsessed with design here and that user experience. So I love seeing these kind of requests that you really want to like push the envelope with the visual display experience. But yeah, that being said, you can currently what's available. CLP is going to be much more dynamic, as just mentioned. You can also choose to show only a monthly price on your products. So if you want to even hide the total price and really emphasize that financing, you can do that as well. But part of the reason we limited few of the design things is just so we tested this experience for years, and we know what works for homeowners, and we know how much to customize the branding and all that stuff to be effective. If you overdo it, sometimes it can actually hurt your conversion. Obviously, you know what you're doing. We want to give you as much power and customizations as we can. So another one that we'll definitely be looking into is just more emphasis on certain elements and the product cards.
Awesome. So we had one from Nicholas B. Can both husband and wife sign? That's very important here in Texas. I wanted to see, I know we had covered that. That'll come on another update later. Right now we have room for a single signature. Do either of y'all know, or if anybody can put it in the chat, would it work to send a duplicate option to both the husband and the wife that they can then sign and kick back, so you have signed copies from each of them? Would that bridge the gap, Nicholas, or would it not? Feel free to let us know. If it's something that works for the meantime, great. Let's use it for now, and then when we get to an update, we can make sure that we have room for multiple signees. And then we have, what about taxes? I'm assuming you mean by a way of putting in taxes for like sales tax and stuff like that. Matthew, Travis, do you guys have any feedback on that one?
They can create custom line items, so they can create their own custom line item in there, as far as in like the additional cost section, to where then they can add the taxes in there. So they can create those. You can make custom lines, however you want to create those custom lines to be able to be add-ons. So definitely can be added.
Perfect. And then what data will we be able to capture from these proposals via webhook, if any? Matthew, do you know how those are going to connect yet?
I do know that we are capturing proposal data in terms of, the tracking the status. I don't think we're releasing webhook functionality on this first version, but it will definitely be coming. Most likely what it'll do is it'll fire off a webhook when a proposal is created and send that data to whatever tool you have connected. And then once it's signed as well, it would be like a logged update activity. So if it's in your CRM, it'll push over there. So great question there too. Really powerful stuff.
Okay.
With the webhooks.
Okay, so it can go in for updates, not necessarily the entire PDF of the unsigned, the signed version, and that goes for Trenton's question as well. So just how much will this push to AccuLink's whole proposal as a PDF? We'll hopefully be able to get there eventually, Trenton, but for now we'll be able to at least send the updates of what's been done. And then for Jimmy V, we have awesome upgrade. Is ROOFLE getting deeper discounts for EagleView, or are we using our own accounts? So for that, Jimmy, you use your own account. You simply connect your EagleView account to your ROOFLE account and use us almost like a remote control for that account. So we don't take any payment off the top. We don't offer any discounts. It's just a connection for you to be able to get those EagleView measurements pumped into your ROOFLE account. And then from Adam Liebens, we currently have Sumo Quote integrated with our HubSpot when when a contact is sent in, it shows in HubSpot, and when it's signed, it moves into HubSpot. Will there be that ability to integrate? So I think we've already pretty much covered that one, Adam. Hopefully we'll get there eventually, but for right now, it'll be limited to, the proposal will live inside of RoofQuote Pro for the time being. Yeah,
and you still have webhooks to integrate HubSpot, and you can actually do some pretty dynamic stuff through a service like Zapier Make with that webhook integration. But yeah, as far as the proposal pushover, that would be coming.
Cool. And then have there been issues ordering measurements through ROOFLE's partners? I missed the first few minutes, but I wasn't able to purchase measurements through the portal last time I tried. So I'm pretty sure that I remember this, Ben. I'm pretty sure that I actually was working with you on this. We had noticed every now and then, I've seen a lag in GAF. They have kind of their terms and conditions. If you get back to them quickly enough, if there's a lag on their side, you can actually rely on their terms and conditions to get a refund for that. That is possible. But on our side, we're again a remote control. So we automatically send, and we can check if we have any gaps in our communication with their API, but we basically send a pull request directly to GAF or to EagleView. So if there is a delay, my recommendation would be to go straight to them, give your timeframes for everything. We can back you up on timeframes if you want, but give the timeframes and get your credit back, as you should be able to if it goes past the time limit that they actually give in their terms and conditions. We've got one from Brad B. From my understanding, the 3-day right of rescission form requires a separate signature legally. I personally can't speak to that. Do either of you gentlemen know some more details on that?
I think it's a pretty common theme we're seeing here is the ability to have multiple signatures. So again, with the version 1, it is single signature. However, what you can do is create multiple proposals and send them to different parties. So it's a kind of a workaround for now, but you can create unlimited proposals, unlimited requests. It's just not going to be 2-on-1 or initials and a signature. I do see that from Adam Sand as well. Acknowledgement, initials. I see that's important, especially in insurance too. So definitely for version 2, you'll see a lot more robust signature functionality coming.
Perfect.
Travis, you had some of your.
No, a lot of stuff is state by state. So again, a lot of states requiring certain right to rescind, whether it's 3-day, 10-day, and whatever the requirements are. Obviously, all contractors will know their, laws that are all required in each one of their individual states as far as contract terms themselves.
Cool. So guys, I think we're going to wrap it here. I know we have a lot more questions still kind of in the log. So what I am going to do is we have put it up in the top, win.roofle.com. Please do feel free to reach out to us for any of those questions. A lot of those I know we're asking for some updates on when things will come available. I can probably answer a couple off the top. The next update will be early December. This was going to go live early December. We're not going to lock ourselves into a date, but give us just a couple more weeks, and then this update will go live. Besides that, no additional cost to be using this tool. So this is just a new feature that is built onto RoofQuote Pro. So it's not going to cost extra for you to get access to this. Likewise, it doesn't cost you any extra to use GAF or to use your Eagle View measurements. Those are, again, just integrations that we've built in. So remote controls to the accounts that you already have with those other companies. Same with a lot of our CRM partners and stuff like that. So no additional cost to use the other features that are on this tool. Please do reach out to us, win.roofle.com, book some time with us. If you need to figure out integrations, if you want to get a little bit deeper into your settings, if you want to set up your additional costs, we are here for all of that. Me and the rest of my team, we are doing this all day, every day, as much as we possibly can to make sure that you guys have the support that you need. Before we sign off, Travis, Matthew, anything final that you want to leave the folks with?
Yeah, appreciate everyone for joining. I know we have a release planned for January and February, one each month. A big one coming before IRE, a couple days prior before IRE. Some really, really exciting stuff that'll be coming. So IRE, for those of you that are going, you definitely stop by our booth and come check out some even greater things that are going to be happening. Some bringing kind of a big hidden secret out there in the industry into our platform that I think is really going to be exciting for a lot of people. And then also even showing a little love for our insurance contractors as well. I know it's been talked about a lot with insurance and hail and weather and things like that. So we have a pretty big update that's related to our insurance type contractors. So sending the love out there for all sorts of different areas of all of our subscribers that we have. So some really, really big things. Don't want to skip over this one that we have now, but 2 big releases also planned before IRE. So some exciting stuff here over the next couple of months.
Perfect. So get with us, win.roofle.com, book some time with us. Let's dig in. Let's get your account dialed in as much as we possibly can. For anyone who missed any portion of this episode today, the recording is going to be emailed to you. So you'll get a notification that the recording is available with a link to the recording. So if you missed any part of this, feel free to watch that recording, jump back to the beginning of it. You can share it around, share that link with people that might have missed it or anything along those lines. So otherwise, folks, thank you so much for joining us. We have a couple more episodes coming through December. Like Travis said, we have a couple more updates coming to keep you on your toes through the beginning of the year. Catch us at the events. We'll be at IRE as well as a handful of others. And we can't wait to see you next time. Take care, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving.